Today's video was brought to you by StoryboardThat.com. Please visit teachercast.net/storyboardthat for a limited time offer. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tech Educator Podcast. This is episode number 89. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a great show. Today, we're going to be talking about videos, how you can create amazing videos in your classroom. We've got some great co-hosts with us today, but first, there's a few ways that you can reach out and be a part of our show each and every week. We love it when you reach out on Twitter @TeacherCast and follow us each and every day. You can, of course, subscribe to this audio and video show over on teachercast.net/iTunes and teachercast.net/YouTube. And we love it when you leave us feedback over on our email hotline, feedback@teachercast.net. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are live on teachercast.tv, and I'm mentioning that because this is our first show in about a month that we've been back on. Of course, we just got done doing Microsoft March, where we had 8 live shows, and we are so excited to have brought you all those great shows featuring Office 365 and Office Mix and OneNote. And we're not done. We have a lot to talk about that. But before we do, I want to bring on our co-host, Mr. Sam Patterson. In fact, I think that's Sam Patterson. Sam, is that you?
This is me, Jeff.
What happened, my friend?
Well, the llamas got shorn, and they felt it was unfair. So
Did they tackle you?
No. This was done willingly. It was a sympathetic gesture. I'm a very, very compassionate guy.
That's amazing. Sam, what is going on these days? How are things over in California?
Things in California are phenomenal. Please send water. Yeah. No, we're excited. You know, the school year coming to an end, trying to get all of the learning we can in. While at the same time, we're gearing up for ISTE, trying to figure out how to teach reading through programming, because I told ISTE I was going to present on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And are you?
I am on Wednesday, 8:30 to 10.
Awesome.
It's a good long presentation. I gotta come up with something for that.
We certainly have to talk about ISTE. Let me also bring in somebody who's going to the ISTE conference, Mr. Jeff Herb. Jeff, how are things with you?
Jeff, things are going well, thanks.
I heard that I heard you've made a discovery.
I made a discovery?
I heard that. Now, a while ago, we had this co-host named John Samuelson on the podcast, and then he kind of, I don't know if he fell into the Sarlacc pit or something, but you have recently unearthed him. Tell us a little bit about where you found him and where we can find the great things that's happening with you and with John Samuelson.
It's true. I have been tracking him for many months, and luckily, I have found his new place of residence, and actually convinced him to become a new co-host on Instructional Tech Talk. So as of the last episode, John joined as a guest and will now be a permanent fixture on the show, and we're really looking forward to that. And now, because I have someone that can help keep me honest about release times, we're shooting to do an every other week show, which is really exciting, because if you've looked at my track record, it seem to go kind of monthly, kind of every other week, sometimes 2 in a week. You know, it's been very unusual. So looking forward to having bi-weekly releases coming up soon.
And so definitely check out, what is it called, Jeff? The Instructional Techlandia Talk?
Yeah, right. No, keeping the name, instructionaltechtalk.com.
You know, I have to be honest. I hear somebody crying. I can't tell if that's in my house or in your house, Jeff. Or unless, is that the llama?
It could be multiple houses. It's quite possibly mine. It could be yours. Who knows?
Going across the country, Mr. David Saunders. David, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really well. I'm excited. I'm heading out to England on Friday to attend a Raspberry Pi Academy.
Really?
Which is in Cambridge, England, for a couple of days of professional development to help learn how to bring Raspberry Pi into the makerspace area and the classrooms at our school.
Is that where they have Raspberry Pi and scones?
Yes, same.
Let me try that one again. It wasn't quite as effective. Is that where they have Raspberry Pi and scone? No, it really wasn't good the second time either, I guess. So tell us, how long are you going to be in England? Are you ditching us next week?
I unfortunately am ditching you next week. Yes, I'm leaving on Friday, and I'm coming back the following Wednesday evening.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yeah, I've never been before. I'm excited.
That's cool. That's really, really cool. Well, congratulations. I mean, it shows that if you really wanted to do a show from like 3 in the morning on England time, you probably could have. But no, that's great. Sam, wait a minute. Sam, what is that?
Yeah. Oh, I've been making friends.
No, wow. It does have a resemblance.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, got it. Well, first of all, thank you guys out there for joining us. We are excited to be back. This is show 89. And, one of the things that's coming up here in my hometown of Philadelphia is the ISTE conference, happening, of course, in late June. If you're out there going to the ISTE conference, please tweet at us, or please let us know in the chat box over here on teachercast.tv. Give us a big smile, raise your hand, let me know that you're going to ISTE. I'm going to ISTE. I am so excited about ISTE. Sam, Jeff, David, are you guys coming to the ISTE conference here?
You know it.
I will be there as well.
I will be there.
I am so excited. And let me tell you, to mark your calendars, I know people that are out there watching live started last year the hashtag called Not at ISTE. And it was an amazing you know who you are out there, Mr. Yen. And last year, we had the privilege of broadcasting live from the Bloggers Cafe every day of the conference from, I think it was 8 o'clock until noon. It was a fantastic time. And I am here to proudly pronounce that we are going to be doing it again this year. So if you are out there and are going to be at the ISTE conference, come on over to the Bloggers Cafe in the morning. You'll be able to check us out. And if you're watching live, we will be on teachercast.tv broadcasting live from ISTE. Sam, I can't believe it. What do you think about that?
I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm not sure about it. No.
No, Walker, you're able to come too.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because they told me they didn't want me anymore.
No. We wanted you.
Oh yeah?
I fought for you.
You fought for me?
Yeah. Not hard, but I did.
Okay. At least you tried.
Yeah, it's usually the last resort. But I got to tell you.
I'm curious how that went. Was it like you can do it as long as Sam's not there, and you're like, no. And then they're like, yeah, that has to be the case. And you're like, okay, fine.
I can't disclose how I use Waka, and I do mean use Waka, but there's a lot of different things that are out there. So I got to tell you what we're going to be doing. We are going to be broadcasting live from Bloggers Cafe. This is all, of course, subject to change. But we're going to be broadcasting live from Bloggers Cafe on Monday and on Wednesday. And then on Tuesday, we've got some pretty cool things happening here. In the morning, we're going to be broadcasting from, you ready, Walker? A remote location at ISTE.
How remote?
We are going to be broadcasting from a remote location at ISTE. And that's going to be leading into our panel discussion, which we're actually going to be doing. Walker, do you know about our panel discussion at ISTE on Tuesday?
The one called Designing Digital Age Learning Experiences with Apple and Google Tools?
That is the one. Do you know who's going to be moderating that panel at ISTE on Tuesday?
Is it me?
It is you! Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're doing a whole panel discussion with myself on the panel, Jenny Graybeck, you might have remembered her, and Waka's friend, Jamie Cassip.
Oh, he's a good one.
He is a Google evangelist. We love him. And he's going to also be on the panel there. Check that out. Mark your calendar. This is Tuesday. I believe it's like 10:30 or 11:30 or something like that.
10:45 to 11:45.
Eastern time. None of this tweeting about Central time, Mr. Herb. That threw us off a little bit today. And so
Right,
here's the deal.
I'm in Pacific, and I always tweet in Eastern.
So what?
Everybody tweets in Eastern.
Eastern time. Now, here's the cool
I was
part.
a little tired of that. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, good luck with that.
If you're at ISTE on Tuesday, we are going to be broadcasting live from the Microsoft booth on Tuesday afternoons. That is going to be a good thing. And so we are actually going to be doing a TeacherCast studio interview show. They told me that they were going to get some couches. I said, is this going to be like Jerry Springer? They said, only if the puppet shows up. And so they're going to have some great stuff going on. So a full conference of broadcasting. And Walker, I'll give you one more thing. They're actually going to be asking me to run around with a camera and do some man-on-the-street interviews.
Run away, baby.
Lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. Apparently, they had somebody doing man-on-the-street interviews last year, and they didn't want to have that thing doing it again. So I just slid into the puppet space. I mean...
Oh, jeez.
I mean...
Wow, that was cold.
I'm sorry. I said that. I'm sorry. Today, we're going to be talking all about YouTube. Jeff, you're a YouTube person, aren't you?
I've heard of it a couple of times, yes.
What are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be going through a couple of different things. The first thing I want to show you is an app that is technically specific to iOS, but it's called YouTube Capture. And it's a really easy way to get video from your phone straight up to your YouTube account. Additionally, I'm going to show you a couple tricks about how there are other ways to get YouTube videos to a YouTube account. And this is a really great trick for the classroom if a teacher has a YouTube account that they want students to be able to upload video to and not have to share their password. There's a really good way to do that. And then additionally, we're going to jump into YouTube Creator Studio and show how there is a free web version that will... or web editor, rather, that will allow you to do some pretty cool stuff right on youtube.com itself. So that's what's in store for you today.
I am excited about this. You know, as somebody who creates a lot of videos, putting it up online is very, very easy. But many people have never actually hit that upload button to realize there's a lot of options behind there. And many people only use the YouTube app. They don't use that studio app. So, Jeff, let's just jump right into it. What do you have for us here on YouTube?
Sure, I'm going to start right off the bat with a screen share. I'm going to screen share in my device, which is being tagged by Google as Unknown Device 2. Very mysterious.
Ooh.
I'm trusting that you can all see my iOS screen, correct?
I can. And by the way, how are you doing this screen capture right now?
I'm using Reflector.
Is it true that there's a Reflector 2 out?
I believe that there is, but I don't have it.
Ah, good.
So
Okay.
I'm using original Reflector. Hasn't failed me yet, so I'm sticking with what works.
Nice.
So let's first start with recording something in YouTube Capture, because that's what's great about YouTube Capture. It is a one-stop shop. You don't have to think about where you're going to record your video and then think about going into a different app to upload it to YouTube or sending it to your computer to upload to YouTube. It is a one and done type deal. So as you can see right now, I've opened up YouTube Capture, and essentially all it is very much like your camera in your iPhone. It shows a big screen, it shows what's going on through your camera, and one of my favorite features is that it will annoy the heck out of you until you rotate your phone to record in landscape mode, which is something that a lot of people tend to do in
I
portrait
feel
mode.
so much better now. Oh my goodness.
Right.
That was horrible.
Very exciting. So right here on the screen, you have your red record button, and we'll just start recording just some basic audio here. We see Sam in the screen here, and you can see my lamp, and I'm going to go over and here's my microphone. Great time. 10 seconds of video. You're done. And it kind of gives you some tool tips. You can edit and upload by clicking there, or you can continue recording more clips and then upload them as one solid batch. We're going to go into the top left, which is the edit and upload, excuse me. And here you have the option to add music from music that's already on your phone. Or you can go through and you can scrub left or right and delete some of the stuff on the back end. So let's say I only want, up to this green monster here. I can make that little slider move to the left and say we're in good shape. And we're going to do music and all that stuff later, so I'm not interested in doing that right now, but I had the option if I wanted to. You can tap add music. And there's options to do YouTube soundtracks, which are really cool, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Or you can take music from the device. I'm going to go ahead and say none for right now just to move along with the process. And then all you have to do is the upper right-hand corner, you have the next arrow. You can enter a title. It's going to my personal YouTube account. And we'll just do TechEducator Podcast. And then I'm just going to go ahead and tap upload. And you can see it go right now. It's flying right now. I'm on wireless, or Wi-Fi. It's telling me I have about 8 seconds remaining, and it's going to upload that HD quality video directly to my YouTube account, and that's it. The other cool thing is, from this app, if I have previously recorded videos, even through the camera app, you can upload them through the YouTube Capture app as well, which is a really nice thing too. So if you've kind of stitched together a couple different things, either through your camera app or YouTube Capture, you can go into YouTube Capture, upload them all at once, and have one strung together video that you can work with once it's up in YouTube. So YouTube Capture is a really great app. It's iOS only right now, but it's a great way to get video into YouTube. Questions about YouTube Capture before we move on?
Yeah, let's say that I'm on a field trip and my students were taking videos. Should I tell them to upload directly from the school bus? Is this something that can be done without Wi-Fi? Like, how much battery do we need to be worrying about? Can I upload an hour-long video? What are your suggestions for using this in real-world practical situations?
So I would say if you're going to be uploading, like 10, 20-minute-long clips, I would say you can easily do that through your... I'm going to jump back to my face because staring at my screen is not the best thing. I would say that that's definitely something you can accomplish through the LTE connection or cellular connection that you have. If you're going to be uploading anything longer than, I'd say, probably 5 minutes, you're probably going to want to be on Wi-Fi. One, just because it's a more stable connection and you're going to be less likely to have any kind of dropouts. And two, because of the battery life issue. You know that you're going to be uploading 5 minutes of HD quality video through your LTE connection. A lot of people don't have unlimited data plans anymore, and you just kind of want to be cognizant if you're going to be doing that regularly, that can eat up a lot of your bandwidth pretty quickly too. So I would say, 1 to 2 minutes and less, definitely go for it on your cellular connection, or Wi-Fi, just go for it. Why not?
And when you're uploading things, do you have any suggestions as far as putting it live? Obviously, I would assume that there's the option to upload it and it's published. I would assume there's also the option to upload it and make it unlisted, things like that. What are your suggestions as far as uploading? Should we put it to an unlisted video and then maybe check it out on our desktop before making it go live, do the SEO, or can you do all the SEO features through the app?
Absolutely. So let's get into the next thing, and it's a couple of different things that I wanted to show you. Sorry, I went into the wrong thing. Different options that exist within YouTube that allow you to do a certain amount of different great features, and uploading is one of those things that you have a little bit more control over. Something that's really cool that I think would be great for teachers is upload defaults. And that's found by going to the little picture of yourself in the upper right-hand corner of YouTube once you're logged in, and then going into Creator Studio. And then on the left-hand side, there's an option for channel. And under channel, there is upload defaults. And this is something that people typically don't dive deep enough into YouTube to find, but it can make a huge difference. So in this account now, if I were to change the privacy settings from public to unlisted to private, anything that's unlisted or private will not immediately show up in your feed in YouTube, which I think is very important if you're going to be giving other people access to uploading to your YouTube channel. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. If you're going to have students given access to upload to your YouTube channel, I would definitely suggest going into your YouTube Creator Studio settings, going to the channel dropdown, upload defaults, and changing it to unlisted or more specifically private, because that will allow it to come into your account and allow no one else to see it until you've checked it to make sure that it is what it should be, and then change that to public.
Well, now wait a minute. Let me stop you right there, Jeff. Are you suggesting that other people can publish to your account through their account, like you have ownership on a Google Doc? Or do I have to give out my password to all 30 kids of my class?
Well, here's the next cool thing that I really like about uploading through. Let me see if I can.
Hey guys, let me jump in while you're transitioning there. My school uses an unlisted YouTube account, And in order to keep our private videos truly private, even our unlisted ones, we upload everything as private and then switch it to unlisted, because people have subscribed to our unlisted YouTube channel, and that means they will still get unlisted videos that we upload. So in order to keep our videos private and control who they go out to, we upload everything as private, and then we go in and change it to unlisted to make sure our subscribers don't get direct links to unlisted videos we don't necessarily intend for them.
Well, let me stop you right there, and I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but in a world where we have unlimited Google Apps for Education, Google Drive storage, why are not more schools just putting hundreds of gigabytes of video in their Google Drive? Because you can embed those videos onto websites and wherever. Why are schools still putting things that they don't want to be seen by the world in YouTube?
I mean, that's a great question. I don't have a good answer for that, other than they don't understand that Google Drive has evolved so much to be able to allow for something like that. I think that if you do have video that you want only shared with a subgroup of people, that you can use Google Drive very easily for something like that. I think that, YouTube is also a place where if you're saying that the school is going to have video, then maybe you do a private video that's shared with only the people that you want to, and people have, figured out this whole idea that all of the video for our district is on this area of YouTube, and that way you're not conflicting between, oh, do I go to YouTube for this? Do I go to Google Drive for this? So I think that there's a couple of things that you just kind of have to work out as a district, and how you're going to actually maintain the video of your district so that people don't get confused on where they're supposed to go for what. At least that's my 2 cents on it.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm sorry, I didn't want to keep going on a tangent.
Not at all.
I've talked to too many school districts that are afraid of using YouTube, and I'm like, but you have unlimited space on Google Drive. Use it.
Yeah, for sure. So back to what you guys had originally said, do I have to give out my YouTube password in order to be able to have people upload to my account? Or what's your workflow look like if you want people to be able to upload to your channel, but you don't want to have to give out your password, you don't want to compromise your account in that way? There is a really easy thing, and I'm going to show it to you right now. It's called mobile upload through email, and it's another feature that a lot of people don't know about, but it protects essentially the security of your account by not having to give out your password, but you're able to give out a very unique email address. And mine's right here as a throwaway account. I'm not worried about people seeing this. But if you go into the picture of yourself in the upper right hand corner and click on the gear for YouTube settings, it brings you to this page. On your overview page, which is the first page that shows up, there's a mobile uploads email account. And you can give that out to students or whomever you feel like they want them to contribute to your YouTube channel, and they can send video to this email address, and it uploads automatically to your YouTube account. Now you're going to want to pair that with what I showed you earlier, which is the ability to go into Creator Studio and then change the channel settings and the upload defaults to something other than public. So I'm going to do that now that I've made this email address public with the rest of the world, and just switch it to private. And so now anytime somebody uploads to that email address or I upload to my own account, it's going to come in as private until I change that individual video to public. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a neat idea. Obviously, YouTube is owned by Google, but it doesn't do the same things as a Google Doc does. So, the sharing idea doesn't quite equal out to what you would think. I noticed that also on your...
What you can do is use the same... Blogger has exactly the same email for post mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I just added that email address to the contacts on the shared iPads the kids use.
Yep.
So they just type in the number 1 for first grade work submit, and they are able to send their work directly there. And you can do the same thing with the email submit with the YouTube video.
Perfect. Yeah,
we have a couple questions coming in here before we go any farther here. A lot of questions coming in here about students and passwords. I know we're on a 40-second delay, Jeff, so if some of these questions have already been answered in the chat room, let us know. Peggy here wanted to know if I have to set up these settings both in YouTube and in YouTube Creator Studio.
Nope. YouTube Creator Studio is one and the same as YouTube. If you make a modification in your account in YouTube Creator Studio, let's say for the upload defaults, that is true for anything that gets uploaded to that account in YouTube.
And let's see here. Somebody here, Mrs. D, was asking about ads. Is there a way to do all this stuff, but so that way when a kid uploads a video, it doesn't have ads on it?
That's a really good question, and one that I don't necessarily have an answer to. I know that you have the ability in Creator Studio to I think they renamed them slides or something like that. Cards, thank you, Mr. Patterson. They have cards, which are things that people can add to increase the amount of ads that are present on their videos.
Mm-hmm.
But that is something that's strictly voluntary, and you can just not do that, obviously. I do not know about the ability to restrict ads. Nor do I think that that's something that YouTube would really get excited about.
Well, ads usually come from ads come from monetizing. So if you have your monetizing off, you're not going to necessarily get ads. But I know there's a couple of things that YouTube is changing because they have to figure out how to make money off of all this stuff.
Right.
And I didn't read through all the different things, but the idea that if you pay YouTube X number per month, maybe you don't have to see the ads on channels that are monetized. And I'm not sure how that's all working yet, but for a school account, especially if you're doing this with Google Apps for Education within that walled garden, I'm not too worried about ads onto all of that.
Right.
Sam.
Other questions?
Yeah, Sam, what is that?
What is what?
All right, Jeff, let's just keep going.
That sounds good. Okay, so we hit Creator Studio. We've uploaded a video to YouTube, and we've shown how you could access your upload defaults and make those either public, private, or unlisted. And then we've also looked at the mobile email that you can share with anyone that you want to have access to uploading to your YouTube channel. And then remember, the caveat there is you're going to want to probably change your upload defaults to make sure that that matches what you're comfortable with letting people upload to your channel and make live right away. From there, what I want to show is YouTube Creator Studio. And Creator Studio is a free component of YouTube. And you can find it. Let me get into here and make sure my screen's showing. You can find it just the same way as I've shown a couple of other things. The picture in the upper right-hand corner, it shows your account information, and just clicking here in Creator Studio. That will load up videos that you've uploaded, channel stats. This is just like a random YouTube account I use to kind of demo stuff. It doesn't have a ton of stuff on it. And you can see that there's a couple of videos of my daughter here as I've been messing around with stuff. It's been
I haven't watched Everly and Green Beans yet.
It's a good time.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Jeff. I thought that was John Samuelson.
Yeah, right. Surprisingly, no, it's not. But you can see right here the TechEducator Podcast video that we uploaded is right here. It looks phenomenal, HD quality, all good, right? Very cool. So, that's just a quick +1 here for the YouTube Creator YouTube Creator app. Works great. But there are multiple options, and I know that, with limited time, we're going to go through just a few of them. But what I most want to show you today is the Create section of the Creator Studio. What you can do in the Create section is some crazy stuff. So first of all, the first thing that shows up when you hit Create is an audio library. It has a ton of free music in it, completely free for you to use in whatever you want. And that's awesome, right? So I know that it has download buttons here. You can literally download any of these options to your computer and use it for projects. It's free music that is licensed to you to do basically whatever you want with. There's ad-supported music and then sound effects as well. And so very cool. A slightly unknown component of YouTube is that they have a lot of great music for you to be able to use on your video projects. Now that really comes into play in this next screen here, Video Editor, where you're actually going to be able to edit the video that you've uploaded to YouTube and it's somewhat iMovie-esque. So if you're not working on a Mac and you don't have iMovie on your computer, if you're working on a PC or whatever it may be, you have access to YouTube Creator Studio, which will allow you to edit and put titles and transitions and video and audio as a background onto your YouTube videos. And it's really easy to do as well. So what I'm going to do is bring in a couple of different videos, and I'm going to show you how you can kind of take your videos in your classroom to the next level. I don't have any classroom-specific videos in this YouTube account, but I'm going to take just an example of one that I've recorded before and show you how you can use kind of scene development to make things a little bit more realistic. So we talk about how students can be creationists and how they can have a little bit more authenticity into what they're creating. Back at the ISTE conference this year, I had the pleasure of listening and talking with Jim Sill, and he is a phenomenal educator and just huge into video creation. And he has shared a couple of great tips about taking that video creation to the next level. And what that looks like is having those kind of several different cuts of video that just place your scene in the grand scheme of everything else. And so, for instance, he would have students record their videos about, let's call it a French news report about the Eiffel Tower, okay? So instead of trying to figure out how they're going to present in front of the Eiffel Tower, he has them record in front of a tree, okay? And so they do this recording in front of this tree, and they use that as one clip of the video. And then additionally, you're going to see up here in this row of great icons, a little CC with a circle around it. These are all Creative Commons videos that you can use inside of your video, your YouTube creation project here. And so he searched for Eiffel Tower and found a great picture with the Eiffel Tower in the background and a bunch of trees in the foreground. And so he used that as like a 10-second clip up front, and then put the video of the kids recording in front of a tree after it. So it set the scene that it's realistic that the kids are recording and doing this live production in front of a tree that's right next to the Eiffel Tower. And that's kind of a cool way. When you look at it, it really does seem realistic. And so I'm going to show you how easy that is. I have a video in my YouTube account of, it's, to be perfectly honest, of my saltwater aquarium and this snail that comes out of the sand. But we're going to place that with a shot of the ocean up front, so it looks like we're looking at the whole ocean, and this might make it seem like the next clip where we're looking at my aquarium is actually inside of the ocean itself. And so it's really easy to do something like that. We're going to go to the Creative Commons tab right here and search for Creative Commons video. I'm just going to type in ocean. Perfect. How about relaxing ocean? All you need to do, it's 26 minutes long. We certainly don't need that much, but I'm going to drag it down anyway. It's going to show that it's brought in 26 minutes, and look, perfect crashing ocean. I'm going to size this down, and all you need to do is click on the right or the back end of the video and size it down to the amount of time you want it to run for. I'm going to bring it down as far as I can. As soon as I let go, it's going to expand out hopefully for me so that I can get a better fit here. I need to close that. There we go. And I'm going to bring it down again. So I only want maybe, let's say, we'll do 6 seconds of ocean video. Okay. So it's going to run for 6 seconds. Great. And then I'm going to go back to the videos that I've uploaded, and that's represented by the camera icon. And I'm going to bring in what is called my jumbo snail coming out of the sand video. And please do not chastise me for having this recorded in portrait mode, despite me hating that so much. I did it to myself. So you can see here that in a few seconds, this snail will kind of emerge out of the sand. It's kind of a cool thing, but it looks like we're underwater, right? It's not necessarily an aquarium. And that's really brought to light when you bring together all the different components of this. So it's going to run for 6 seconds and then transition into the underground, like underwater type scene. And it just kind of helps place where we are in the scheme of the recording. And it's really great for kids to be able to think about, okay, so yeah, maybe I did record this in my classroom, but what kind of large wide shot scene would make this actually the most realistic for what I'm recording. And it kind of makes them think a little bit more about time, place, and setting. Additionally,
Jeff, we have a couple
throw...
questions here.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you split those clips, or can you only shrink it on either side?
Oh, no, you can absolutely split the clip. Let me get my editor in here. So right here, I'm going to pause it, and you can say split clip here. It's a little scissors thing right in line with where the time bar is. And so we can split this one in half, no problem. And so it's split at 1 second and 4 seconds, and you have the 2 clips ready to go.
And then you can take the underwater clip and put that in the middle.
Sure. Absolutely. Easy.
That's awesome.
It's all drag and drop. It's all very easy. If you've used iMovie, you can easily use this. If you've used this, then, I would say this is slightly easier than iMovie just because there are not as many features, but it's very similar in terms of the drag and drop, cutting clips, splitting clips, that kind of stuff. You can auto fix, there's quick fixes in here that, they're quick fixes. They don't always enhance to the best of your liking like this. I don't like the way that looks. That doesn't look good to me, so I'll keep it the way it is. But there are different ways to, enhance your video. And you can change it to slow motion. You can do 1, 2, 4, or 8x slow motion, or speed up the video as well, right from this little dashboard right here. So that's pretty cool. So additionally, you can add text to the clips. And let's do a banner title in the beginning. And you can actually overlay it too if you want to. I just dropped it in the wrong spot. I gotta enter my text here. Over here, we could do snails in the ocean. Very exciting. It shows up right there. And you'll see snails in the ocean, and it dumps right in. Pretty easy stuff. Let's add a transition in between the ocean and the snail video, just to give an idea. And it crossfades in. So a lot, like I said, from the Windows Movie Maker, iMovie, very easy to create those kind of things. Let's say this is a news broadcast, right? And what good news broadcasts have in the front is a track that sounds very newsy. So under our audio tab here, I'm going to search for news. Let's see, headline news. That sounds good. Remember, these are all free. I'm going to drop that in. And I'm not sure if mine's going to be able to actually play it for you just because of the way that our Google Hangout is set up. But can you hear that or no?
No, unfortunately.
No. Okay, well, just pretend that there's like a newsroom audio in the background here.
Can we get Walker to do some background noises just in case?
There we go. But it's that easy. So let's say we didn't like that clip, or the audio file, not our favorite one. We can easily delete it and throw in running story. And you're changing music, like no problem. And you have a huge selection to choose from that's free and available to you for any project that you're working on. So I'm going to pause right here because I know I just went through a lot of stuff. Questions that have come up as we're working through this.
There's a lot of talk here on teachercast.tv with our huge live audience tonight. Thank you guys so much for checking this out. The Creative Commons videos, keep in mind, everything here is YouTube. Everything here is Google. So, I thought I heard a number once, and maybe somebody can back me up. There's over 160,000 different audio files, which seems like a huge number, but not if you're Google and YouTube. And the idea that with the Creative Commons, I mean, anybody, if it puts up a video of their family, of their field trips, of the whatever, as long as they mark that as Creative Commons, now you have the option. So, Jeff, do me a favor there on that shot. Do a Creative Commons search for TeacherCast. You should be able to pull up my stuff, which means you should be able to pull up most people's stuff, that's Creative Commons. So technically, we could do a family collage of your babies and my babies and put some nice music into it, and then we can present that at ISTE this year.
There we go.
See, there we go. There's all of the stuff. So you too can edit out a Waka video.
You certainly can. Yes. You can erase Waka from any video you want to.
You can edit Waka out of any video possible.
No, but it's really easy. Just like you said, if you wanted to bring in a clip from one of the TeacherCast videos because it's relevant to a video you're putting together for your teachers, for instance, if you're doing something all about screencasting, and you have, we've done a couple of shows like that through TechEducator. You can bring in a clip from TeacherCast. You can scroll to the part you want, and
Hey, that was a good one.
it is a good one.
That was Classroom
I love that
2.0
one.
live.
And be able to, size it, figure out exactly where you want to get to, and make the cuts, and you're in good shape. So
what happens here at the end? I mean, you've made this montage of stuff.
Yep.
What happens then?
This is a Frankenstein video. Let's call it Oceans Full of TeacherCast. Perfect. And let's say we're happy with it. Running story, great. We have a title. We have a transition. We have a Creative Commons video. We have our own personal video that we've uploaded. We have the rest of a Creative Commons video. And then why not? Let's throw in some Evernote from TeacherCast. And
For 44
we feel
minutes.
happy about it. We're doing a running story, drums from Telepictures music, Creative Commons audio that's free to us on Creator Studio. And we're going to click Create Video.
Well, wait a minute. Before you do that,
Oh, too late. That's hilarious.
What happens if I want to put myself in that video and I wanted to have the camera shoot me so I could be in that video?
You mean you want to record additional video?
I want to record additional video to put in that video. How do I have YouTube open up my own camera and record me for a few seconds?
Get back in here real quick. I'm trying to remember how to do that in YouTube. I never record in YouTube.
I'm trying to set you up here.
Does it not do that?
So what Jeff is looking for is if he goes to the upload button.
Oh, yeah.
And then he goes to webcam capture. We should probably rehearse this ahead of time.
Well, yeah, I never record through YouTube, so that's a great thing to bring up for sure.
So if you wanted to have your kids make a montage, but that you wanted them to do a video intro of the TeacherCast video,
yep,
this is a great way of doing things.
Absolutely. That's a great point, Jeff, and I'm glad you brought that up. I totally forgot that was a feature in YouTube because I'm used to using either YouTube Capture or doing it through the camera roll and uploading it that way. So just to do that again real quick, just on the YouTube screen itself, under Upload, you do have the options on the right-hand side here. A couple of cool ones, photo slideshow is cool, but webcam, if your computer has a webcam on it, you can easily record from the webcam. Yeah. My screen's not showing because the video is currently being used by the Google Hangout, but this is where your screen would show up, and you could click Start Recording right here, and it'll save itself directly into YouTube as well.
And don't knock those photos. When you go back one to the upload button. That photo slideshow is pretty awesome because not only can you pull photos from videos, but basically I think it still pulls all of your Picasa stuff or wherever you're holding, wherever Google wants you to put pictures these days. Account. So there's a lot of neat things you can do here. While you're doing that, let me throw another question at you here. Peggy George is rocking the chat room here. What is the best way to provide attribution when you're merging multiple video segments? How do you give credit where credit's due? Because you showed us how to do banners and like words on stuff, but those words were kind of horrible and they were big and huge. What is the best way to credit TeacherCast when you take one of our videos?
So my favorite way to do that is in two places actually. The first one is on the final slide of the video, and then additionally in the comments or the details or the notes for the video itself on YouTube, so that when it uploads, you have the details of what it's talking about, and then you can give attribution in those details for the videos or the sources that you've used as well. I feel like that's important because that is easily searchable in YouTube, and that way if somebody searches for TeacherCast, for instance, they might also come across Peggy George's video that also cited TeacherCast because it's going to come up in that description as well.
We have another question for you. I'm not sure if this is a WordPress fan or not, but the account name is WP Online. It says, can you use the Creative Studio if you have no arms and hands?
It would be difficult, but that might be one of Google's new April Fool's releases where you can look at the screen and edit it. We'll see. If you think about where you want to cut the video, maybe someday we'll get to the point where that's a possibility.
It does make Creative Studio does make it really easy to do all of this on a Chromebook, though. Now that they've got that, you know, open up the webcam.
Yep.
Yeah, so you can do so much on a Chromebook.
That's what's one of my favorite thing is with the Chromebook and YouTube Creator Studio, we've been kind of struggling to find quality video editing that was not difficult to get in the hands of the students, and YouTube Creator Studio has certainly not let us down in that respect.
There are two spots that I always recommend people go to when you're looking at online video editing. The YouTube Creative Studio is amazing, and the other one, which we'll certainly talk about soon, we've talked about in the past, is called WeVideo. And those are just two really nice video editing programs. Yep. David, let me bring you back in here. I know you're a Google guy. What do you think about doing all this stuff? I mean, is this something that you can use in your classroom and utilize with your students?
Yeah, absolutely. We are a Chromebook from 4th through 6th grade. We are Chromebooks. We're moving Chromebooks 7th through 9th grade next year. We do quite a bit of video editing. We use iPads and whatnot, but when I was at Google Teacher Academy last summer, we had a whole session on the YouTube Creative Suite, and I was blown away by it. And so we've brought that into our classrooms for everything from capstone projects to souls, and it's been an amazing tool for us for capturing and editing video in really easy ways.
That's cool.
And, you know, Max Hudson says something about the capturing video. You know,
what's that?
Sam, you say that again, Sam.
I was saying Max Headroom says something about, you know, capturing video. You know, it's true, but delay may be on my end.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening with the video transfer here. My settings look okay, but that's all right. You know, Jeff, there's a lot of ways here that we can look at YouTube video, and it's really nice that you brought to us this concept of doing it from your iPhone or from your iPad. Is the YouTube Capture Studio, is that also available on Android?
It is not. YouTube Capture is not an Android app, and it's something that's been kind of funny because a lot of Android people have said, "Why did you come out with a YouTube Capture app for iOS only?" And I have not seen a good answer about that, to be perfectly honest, but a lot of Android people wish that the YouTube Capture app was available for them because it is a sound and quality app. I have used it quite a bit and have had zero issues with it. A lot of what you saw me do in the Creator Studio on the website is also available to do on the app itself. So you can edit those videos before you upload them using the cache of videos that you've recorded in YouTube Capture or that are saved to your camera roll. Like you saw earlier, you do have access to that same library of audio files to be able to put against your video in the YouTube Capture app. You do not have the ability to add the Creative Commons video. That is something you need to log into the website to do, as far as I'm aware. But you can do a lot of cool stuff on the app itself through the iOS app and have that be mimicked somewhat in the Creator Studio on the website too.
Now, Jeff, we've talked a little bit about the YouTube app, which is really just the player. You can sit there and look at videos. Yep. And we've talked about the Creator app. Have you done a lot of work with the YouTube Studio app at all?
No, I have not. That's been something I have not gotten into very much.
If you're out there, you really do need to and if you're making YouTube videos, I mean, look, this app isn't for everybody, but if you're making YouTube videos, the YouTube Studio app, let me pull it up. It looks like that. But essentially everything, Jeff, can you show us that YouTube Studio page that had your video boxes and stuff like that? Everything that Jeff was showing you on his desktop as far as his video connection and all, you know that screen?
Yep, I'm getting there.
Creative Studio. Everything that you see on this screen right here is available on the app. So if you're looking at this and go to dashboard and video manager there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, back there. So yeah,
Going
Creative
back.
Studio, freeze. Everything that you're seeing right there, from your videos to your channel stats to your views, your subscribers, it manages comments. It's called YouTube Studio. It gives you full analytics of all of your videos. You can comment back to people. I never have to organize this screen that you're seeing on Jeff's computer. I never have to go here because I use the YouTube Studio app. It is amazing. It does almost everything that I need YouTube to do. Unfortunately, I'll tell you guys, the only thing it doesn't do is set up the live shows. So I can't set up a live show, for instance, like this. So that way Wirecast hooks into it. I have to do that on the desktop. But other than that, as far as looking at analytics, looking at videos, creating videos, deleting videos, I can do that from YouTube Studio. So if you're getting into making videos, I would definitely check that out. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you've never tried that app, that's certainly good. I mean, I can sit here and say, well, look, in the last month, I've had 73,000 views on the TeacherCast videos. Awesome. And I don't have to spend a lot of time. I can just sit there and well, when you're driving a lot, it's good to look at. Let's just put it that way.
As are with most apps, right?
Speaking of apps, we haven't really talked about this recently, and we have a few minutes left. I want to do a little round robin of what is your favorite app of choice right now. A lot of people are asking, it's springtime. What are you using? Dave, what are you using these days? What's your app of choice on your device? What are you sharing with people when you go to a SmackDown? Sam, what are you using right now when you go to your app SmackDowns?
I'm really been looking a lot at formative assessment. So I've been looking at Kahoot and Go Formative. Both are really nice ways to manage like in classroom participation. That paired up with today's meet, you can do a lot of really great work if your kids have devices. I just put out a blog post this past week called "Quit Raising Hands. I'm calling on everyone."
Yeah, I like that.
That whole idea of we're gonna wait for one person to talk and we're all gonna listen to one person talk and then we're all gonna wait our turn to respond. That time, that idea, it's done.
Jeff, what are you using these days?
Something that actually we talked about on the last Instructional Tech Talk episode was Periscope. And I know that obviously Mr. Patterson has used it quite a bit.
Is that the app where we get to see llama butt?
We got to hear his llama. And that was very exciting. But I've been seeing a lot of educators use it for a lot of good ways. We were able to get an inside look into Star Saxton's journalism classroom. She was walking around talking to kids about what they were doing and how they were doing layout with their journalism. And that was really cool. I see people that are presenting at conferences and people are periscoping that presentation out to the world essentially, and it's great to be able to watch some great people. How many times can I say great here? The opportunities to be able to see people present that are at conferences all over the world is really cool too. So I think we're going to continue seeing great applications for Periscope in education. I think people are still trying to figure out what that may look like and get around kind of that unknown as to who can actually see what I'm doing and how do we restrict people that we don't want to see what's going on in the classroom so that it's the right people that are having that access. So it'll be interesting.
And we're actually periscoping right now. If you're out on Twitter, you can certainly join us here. I've got 10 people watching live. And so yes, we are periscoping here. There's a few things that we're looking at bringing over here to the Tech Educator Podcast. I'm going to turn off my periscope here because I don't have any llamas in the house. But Jeff, have you seen an app called Reached? REACHT.
REACHT?
Reached. I haven't really tried it yet. I'd like to bring it here into the show, but essentially, and I think I only have one follower, and it's Peggy George, but essentially through the show, I can ask a question, and then you can have instant feedback from the audience. And so I was thinking REACHT. I'm thinking about using this for ISTE because essentially it's question and answer but it's designed for podcasters and radio people and stuff like that. So I was thinking about that. REACHT. Actually, I have 2 followers, Sam and my wife. So Peggy hasn't gotten onto this one yet.
Finding it.
I'm really following you on that.
Yeah, you are.
I haven't heard of it.
And I'll give you one more app here that I found the other day that I really like. It's called Down Detector. DOWNDETCTR. And I found this the other day because I don't know if you guys got hit by this. Was it Friday night? I was trying to watch Star Wars on my iTunes connection because I bought this set, and I couldn't log in. And I went onto the phone to try something, and it wouldn't let me log in. And I tried to buy an app, and it wouldn't let me log in. And so I did a I did a Google search for "Is iTunes down?" And I found this page that said download this app. And when I downloaded the Down Detector, it came up with a number of online streaming services like iTunes and 2K and Adobe Connect and all these places that have these online connections, Amazon Prime. And boom, it showed me that Friday night iTunes was in fact down and people were putting in complaints. And then within like 2 hours, it popped back up, and then the little thingy on here said, yep, you're fine. So it's a really neat thing to figure out when services have hiccups, because not even Google says that they're 100% up. So Down Detector, pretty cool.
Very cool.
I'm thinking about doing the same kind of thing, but calling it Triplet Detector. David, are you there?
I am. Sorry. Yeah, I'm in the basement here, and my kids are playing upstairs. And it was so loud at the point that you asked me to jump in that I decided it wasn't worth it. I would say I've got a couple of apps here
that is sounding funny.
Are oldies, but I sort of I found them to be incredibly helpful. One would be how IFTTT broke into 2 separate apps, If and Do, and I've been using them quite a bit with professional development sessions that I've been giving, particularly around some of the makerspace stuff that I've been doing, and the little bits, their kit, which allows you to basically create smart home devices using If, and that's been fantastic. And the other for me would be Google Keep. As a way to manage lists, to-do lists. You can share with people. You can color code it. For me, that has been sort of a lifesaver of organization for me, because it's both linear, but you can also make it visual. You can color code it in a way that makes sense to you and create all systems. So that has been a great one for me, and it's free. Maybe we need to do another show on If This Then That, since they have broken down things, and that's always been a popular one for us. Maybe we can put that back on the rotation here. And the 2 new apps for it, Jeff, are fantastic. How so? Well, so they broke them into 2 separate. So I don't know if you've seen them, but if you go to, they're just far easier to use. So I can pull one up real quick. Well, I'm not gonna be able to really show it to you. Is Periscope available on desktop? Peggy George just put out a link. This is periscope.tv. I didn't know that was a desktopable thing yet.
Yeah, you're able to watch Periscope streams.
But you can't. So. But it's not a broadcasting platform yet per se.
Not that I'm aware of. But I know that if in your Twitter feed you get a Periscope link, you can click on it on your computer and load it in the browser.
Nice.
Yep.
Very, very cool. My other favorite app right now is Blastr, BLASTR, and that's because it gives us all the Star Wars updates. Because it's all movie news. We have a great lineup here coming up in the next few weeks. Again, this is show number 89. We're going to be assuming next week is going to be 90. Next week we're going to be 10 ways to be a rock star teacher in your classroom. Sam, you went to Rockstar Camp over at Q, and David and I are going to be presenting at Q Rockstar in Boston. Sam, what is a Q Rockstar?
Q Rockstar is a teacher who essentially agrees to work really hard to help other teachers be really awesome. And the whole idea behind Rockstar Teacher Camp is that every campus has at least one crazy, super hardcore rockstar teacher. And this is professional development for that maniac.
Nice. So check that out next week. We are trying to get some of our Q Rockstar fans and friends to come back on the show. So certainly be checking us out. We can, of course, be found live every single Sunday night for the foreseeable future on teachercast.tv. And all of our shows here are archived over at TechEducatorPodcast.com. And you can find the archives to this show at teachercast.net/TEP. 89. And in fact, all of our shows follow that same advice. teachercast.net/TEP for Tech Educator Podcast, and then the number of the show. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show today. It is so nice to see everybody. Next week, we will return with all of our co-hosts and all of our puppets when we're going to be talking a little bit about rockstar teachers. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us. Keep up the great work in your classrooms and continue sharing your passions with your students.